So, things that increase stress to the knee joint is going to be increasing the degree of knee flexion. All right. So the deeper that I go into a lunge, the deeper I go into a squat, the higher the height of a step up, the more stress in general is going to go into the knee joint. All right. So if I want to decrease stress on the knee that day, what can I do? Well, this is simple as well. I reduce the range of motion. So if I'm going to be doing a regular full depth squat and my knees are bugging me that day, I can push my hips back a little further and sit down to a box that's not quite as deep, right? And the act of sitting the hips back and the act of raising up the seat is going to decrease the total amount of knee flexion or knee bending that occurs during the lift. So all of a sudden I'm still training, I've just shifted the stress away from the knees and put it more on the lower back and the hips, all right? How about for Olympic lifts? Well, maybe this day you don't do a full squat clean. Maybe you do a power clean. So we're still getting a decent training effect, but we're just not landing in that deep knee flexion position that tends to bother us, right? As far as step-ups, this is simple. Just go on a shorter box, right? So if you have 24-inch box step-ups and it feels pretty bad, go down to about a 16-inch, right? And you may be able to load it up nice and heavy and have no pain whatsoever just because now we've decreased the height, okay? And the other one that's super easy to do is just do a partial range on your split squats or lunges. What I like to do is I'll be doing a lunge and I'll take something like an Airex pad, right, or something that's soft and put it down on the floor right underneath of this trail leg here so I can't go quite as deep. So if I'm not going quite as deep, I'm not getting as much knee flexion here. And at the end of the day, that might be enough of a modification, so it's not hurting when I'm doing my split squats and my lunges. I really like this image here because it shows you the change in a squat and how this can decrease some of the stress on the knee. All right. So if I'm doing a front squat, I'm much more upright. Okay. You can also see that I've got a decent amount more ankle bending here and a lot more knee bending. So if you just compare my knee bending here, my front squat, to my knee bending here, my back squat, I've got quite a bit less knee bending in this back squat in comparison to my front squat. And the last little bit here is that if I go down to a box, that's even less knee flexion, all right? So what ends up happening is that a lot of the stress that I started with in the front squat, which is really putting stress down on this knee, I'm now shifting the stress over toward the hip, okay? So a regular back squat, a little less stress on the knee, a little more on the spine, and then a box squat, even less stress on the knee, but now I'm putting quite a bit more stress on the spine here. Okay? So a really easy way that you can change the stress on your knee so that you can have a little less pain when you're training.